My name is Wehner, and today I'm going to be explaining how to polo wrap, a standing wrap, and a stack wrap on your horse. For safety purposes, I'm going to ask that my handler remain beside me at all times. First, I'm going to be showing you how to wrap a polo. A polo offers protection to the lower leg, but it does not support any of the structures within the lower leg. You always want to wrap tendons in. That is an industry standard. And that means what you're going to do is you're going to tip the wrap and go in towards the horse's belly rather than pulling them out. So first you're going to start on the upper inside of the cannon, and then you're just going to spiral down around the fetlock. So I'll kind of explain it as I do it. You're going to start with the end of the polo and the groove of the tendon, and you're just going to wrap it around, and generally I go around one time and then spiral down. So then you're just going to spiral down until you get closer to the fetlock, and then you're going to kind of come down around the fetlock, and I generally wrap it twice, and you're going to go around again horizontally, and then you're going to come down a little bit lower and form your V, which is just this shape at the front of the polo. And then you're just going to come back up and finish out the spiraling up, making sure to maintain an even tightness throughout the polo. Ideally, your velcro should finish on the outside of the polo. Mine do not, but you kind of need to know the length of your wraps as well. And for the V, you always want that to be as centered as possible. Next, I'm going to be showing you a standing wrap. So for a standing wrap, you can have the quilt wrap, or the Novo or pillow wrap. You can also use raw cotton. That's generally more of a wound bandage though, just because it's expensive to use and you can't reuse it. All the other kinds of wraps you can. You also want a track wrap. Sometimes over the raw cotton, vets will use vet wrap as well, but we do not use vet wrap to just do normal standing wrap just because it's too easy to cord the leg. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with I have a Novo, you're going to start with your Novo, and you're going to wrap it around the leg, again tendons in. You want to maintain an even tightness throughout the entire wrap, and then you're going to put your track wrap, you're going to kind of lay it in the Novo on the leg, and then that kind of anchors it, and then you're going to wrap around, and again hopefully end with the Velcro at the top. When you're done, you want to check the tightness. You should be able to fit a couple of your fingers in and kind of be able to twist the wrap just enough where it feels like it can fit on the horse's leg. You can also flip down, and here it sounds a little bit hollow. That tends to mean your wrap is good. You want to try and watch for wrinkles while you're wrapping. You can kind of run your hand up and down the inside of the wrap in case you can't see. A standing wrap is generally used to prevent swelling in the lower leg, like stocking up if your horse is standing in a stall a lot. Has a fresh wound on its leg that could swell, and you want to prevent that. It can also be used to cover lineaments or poultices, or just to kind of protect the leg while in the stall if you need to put a wound dressing or anything on it at all. For a stack wrap, you're going to start with a standing wrap. I'm just going to use the one I just showed you. And then basically a stack wrap is a standing wrap on top of the standing wrap. This can be used if you have a wound on the upper leg that you need to put a dressing on and hold it there. Or if you have like a swollen limb and you need to try and kind of get the swelling out as a compression wrap. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take, again, another Novo or pillow wrap or whichever kind of pillow wrap you have, and you're going to set it on the top of the standing wrap right here on the tail so that it can kind of help hold the stack wrap up. And I'm going to be using two track wraps in addition to the standing wrap. One, I'm going to do just exactly the same thing as the standing wrap on top of the standing wrap to make a stack wrap, and then I'm going to take a second track wrap and wrap around the joint just to increase further stability. So I'm just going to start again by putting my Novo above the standing wrap I've already done, and you want to kind of keep the same level of tightness just so that you have a consistent wrap all the way around. Wrapping the upper part of the horse's leg is a little bit more difficult because it widens out more, so it's going to be a little bit awkward, and you should make sure you practice. you ever get a wrinkle in your track wrap, you can kind of adjust it and then pull and make sure that it's smooth, rather than leave the wrinkle in or restart your wrap. Then I'm going to take my second track wrap and I'm going to start just kind of in the middle of the top standing wrap, again starting on the inside, and I'm just going to wrap around once, kind of anchor it down, and then I'm going to pull it down so I can cover the joint, and then I'm just going to come down about a third of the way down onto the bottom standing wrap, and I'm just going to wrap back up over the joint just to provide extra support and help it sound just a little bit better. If you do not have Velcro to attach your track wraps, you can use masking tape in a spiral or bandage pins. You want to make sure that your bandage pins are fastened well and that the masking tape doesn't touch itself, because that can potentially hold your horse. If you're doing a stack wrap, generally you're going to have a wound under it, so what you're going to do for that is you're going to put on your antibiotic ointment or Novosan ointment or whatever you have to put on top of the wound. Then you're going to put a non-stick sulfa pad on. You're going to have generally brown or white gauze, and you're going to wrap that around the leg just to kind of stabilize the sulfa pad and hold it together. And then over the top of that, you're going to do the standing wrap. I have given you examples of how you do a polo wrap, a standing wrap, and a stack wrap respectively. A standing wrap and a stack wrap can both have a wound dressing under it, depending on where the wound is on the horse's leg. And all three of these wraps carry the potential of cording the horse's leg, which can be caused by either wrinkling part of the bandage and leaving it, or having uneven pressure on your bandage. Cording horse's leg means you cut off the blood supply, and that can result in multiple problems, and it's better to be safe than sorry, so you're always going to want to make sure that your wrap has even pressure throughout, and that you've either taken out wrinkles or you've just taken the wrap off and redone the wrap, rather than risking it being wrinkled and then causing more potential harm to your horse.